Alright guys, so of course, I know it's been a month. I promise you guys more videos. Then online school got extended for the rest of the school year, and when you're locked in your room for 3 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week doing schoolwork, it just becomes kind of it just kind of physically becomes kind of impossible to do anything else or focus on anything else. So of course yesterday was my last day for not just online school but for school in general. I'm done with my senior year. I don't know what's gonna go on with graduation, but I'm done with senior year for now, and I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that I finally finished online school, no matter how frustrating it was. And I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you guys who also are doing online school, I know in my district we finish school in May. I know a lot more districts don't finish till late June, so that kind of sucks. But I hope you guys are doing okay during quarantine. And of course, yesterday was the video on demand premiere of SCOOB. Of course, SCOOB is following the same footsteps that Trolls World Tour previously did. Of course, Trolls World Tour is a world-breaking movie, or record-breaking movie, should I say. The movie made so much money that Universal decided to brag about it in the theaters' faces at a time when theaters aren't making money at all. Matter of fact, they're going bankrupt, and AMC decided just for that, decided to effective immediately stop showing all the Universal movies, and that includes like the new James Bond movie and the Fast and Furious movies and all of that. So I don't know how that's gonna work out in the end of the day, but hey, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think that's gonna last long. I mean, Universal is a multi-billion-dollar movie studio, so why is AMC gonna miss out on that? But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. That news is so 2 weeks ago. We're talking about SCOOB, which I did have the pleasure of watching last night with my family. Um, I watched SCOOB. I liked the first trailer for the movie, not so much the second trailer. I thought the second trailer, it just didn't really work out for me, but I was still hoping that the movie was going to be good. And hey, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The first 10 or 15 minutes of this thing, it they were kind of sweet. They were cute. I really started to enjoy the movie a lot within those first 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, because it really gives us the origin of Shaggy and Scooby-Doo and how they met, and how they met the Mystery Inc. Group. Of course, Velma, Fred, and Daphne. Um, I really liked that a lot. But then after that, like the movie, like after the first 10, 15 minutes, the movie just, it just starts going downhill. It went downhill very quickly, and it started becoming your modern day animated movie. Like for example, like when I think about, so Scooby Doo for me, Scooby Doo is a timeless cartoon. You could watch that cartoon any year, and you're gonna be like, damn, like Scooby Doo is Scooby Doo is for any generation really. Once you actually think about it, I mean, I bet there's little kids from this generation watching Scooby Doo on Netflix right now. But as far as Scoob goes, Scoob is a movie that is going to be super outdated 5 years from now. I mean, you look at a movie like Toy Story that came out almost, what, 30 years ago. You just look at that movie, and that's just a timely. I mean, aside from the animation is super outdated in Toy Story, but the story to the movie is timeless. Scooby Doo, or Scoob, should I say, on the other hand, 5 years from now, you're gonna watch this movie and you're gonna be like, you're just gonna see Scooby Doo dab like he does in this movie, and you're gonna be like, wow, it's this movie is super outdated, and I just don't like that about animated movies nowadays. The movies are easy. Animated movies nowadays, they just try to do what is the what is the they just try to do whatever is the big thing or the new trendy thing, and they incorporate it to the movie. And of course, it works out for a little bit, but then once it's outdated, it's just not as funny or as cute anymore, really. So that's a huge problem I have with this movie. This is a movie that's going to be super outdated a few years from now. But that's not my only problem to have the movie. I have so many other problems with this movie. The movie is a mess. There is so much that is trying to be done all at once. We have the whole origin story. We got the whole Scooby and Shaggy meeting the Blue Falcon and the whole group, and of course the rest of the Mystery Inc. trying to find Scooby and Shaggy, and you have the whole thing with the villain, and then you just have them trying to build a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe all at once, all within a 1 hour and 30-minute movie. So therefore the movie it's a mess. It really is. They try to do all these things all at once, and the movie just doesn't organically flow together because there's just so much going on. The movie just goes everywhere, just goes all the way around, and the movie it's kind of cringeworthy to watch sometimes. Just to I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of it. Although I will say the whole Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe, at first I was kind of against it. Like, why would you build it with the first movie? But I actually started thinking about it, it was one of the best things about the movie. Of course, we have all these cameos and Easter eggs from other Hanna-Barbera cartoons, which my dad had a lot of fun pointing out, by the way. So I think that's the most fun that my dad had with the movie, pointing out all the Hanna-Barbera references that this movie had. But so far, I thought it was one of the best things that this movie really had to offer, because even though it felt forced to build this cinematic universe just with the first movie alone. Somehow it just organically fit in with the movie, and it's something similar that Lego Batman movie did. If you guys remember, with Lego Batman movie, they try to fit in all these Warner Brother properties into the finale third act of the movie, and I thought that this movie did it almost flawlessly, if I'm being honest with you. I love this movie so much. The Lego Batman movie, it's so good. But SCOOB does that, but with the Hanna-Barbera characters, and it kind of fits in some way. So I kind of like that aspect of the movie, but it doesn't make the movie it doesn't make the movie any better, because the movie, in the end of the day, it's still a mess, and the studio is just kind of wrong for trying to do all these things all at once. And I can't really, that's my biggest problem with the movie. My biggest problem with the movie is just that there's just way too much going on. The movie is quite predictable, and it's not as forgettable as I thought it was going to be, but the movie definitely has some super forgettable moments that I'm sure I'm not even thinking of right now. But there are some moments that are quite forgettable in this movie, and I thought, again, the writing fits in with what I thought about the whole movie itself. Like, again, there's just too much being forced in all at once. And I did like the villain, Dick, I forgot his name, his full name. I know he's another Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I like the villain. His backstory really fits in with the whole a man's best friend theme that this movie has going for. And he's a really silly and cartoony villain, but in the end of the day, he's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, so he's allowed to be as cartoony as he can. That's the best thing about Hanna-Barbera cartoons, that those cartoons are so cartoony that you just kind of allow it. You really do. But the one thing I will not allow is a messy Scooby-Doo movie. Although I will say the animation is really good. It's very smooth going, especially in the third act. I actually thought that the last 20 minutes of the movie were very good. The last 20 minutes of the movie were very good. Maybe if the whole movie was more of what the last 20 minutes and the first 15 minutes of the movie had to offer, maybe I would have loved this movie. But overall, what I thought about this movie overall, the first 10 to 15 minutes were good. Then the rest of the movie is just super mediocre. And then the last 20 minutes of the movie are pretty damn great. But then, other than that, that just makes 75% of the movie mediocre as hell. So overall, I'm mixed on this movie. I'm straight in the middle. I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's that good of a movie either. It's just super messy. But I'm excited to see what they could do with this Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. But other than that, I wasn't that satisfied with the movie. Again, I mean, it's a good cartoon. It's just not a good Scooby-Doo movie, really. But yeah, I'm gonna give SCOOB a C. So that's kind of sad. I wanted to give this movie a higher grade. I wanted this movie to at least be like B+ territory, which it wasn't. So that's really disappointing. But anyways, Scoob, $20 rental or $25 to buy. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend waiting for Black Friday for when this movie's like gonna be like $7 or $8. But I mean, if you don't have anything better to do, then I mean, I enjoyed watching the movie. It's just the actual movie itself, like the story and everything, that just didn't do it for me. But it's a fun time to watch, I guess. Kids are gonna adore this movie. Kids today are gonna love this movie. Maybe if I was a kid, maybe if this movie was made when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I would have loved it. But it just doesn't really. I'm 18 now, and it's not working out for me. I'm sorry, but Scoob. Have you guys seen Scoob? What did you guys think about it? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Or are you guys there with me? You guys just thought it was just okay? Whatever you guys thought about it, tell me in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. This time I actually have time to make more videos, so I'm excited for that. Stay tuned for all that. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.